that man right there with the wonderful checkered shirt waving his hand? He's the guy you go to and line up in front of if you have a question, all right? So you're more than welcome to ask a few. Good.
Did you guys like that?
Yeah!
You have to say yes because we're here.
So how long of a I guess we'll ask the question.
Yeah.
To get things going. But how long of a process was it before the short film was made, before the big version was made?
The short film, we made a short film in 2004 or something like that, was it? Or something? When? 6? 2006. Okay, so I guess it took around 7 years from that point till now. It took us a few years, maybe 4 years, to really just figure out what we would do with it if it was a real movie, how to like expand this kind of idea into like a whole thing. And then we wrote it, and then from then it took like around 1.5 years, 2 years to actually get someone to let us make it and to like get all these guys free at the same time, basically.
So was the plan initially to actually make the big movie, or was it just that's all it was going to be, was the short one?
No, it was just going to be a short film at first, and then people really liked it, and it kind of got a good response online. Lots of people watched it, and then we started just joking around about like what the full-length version of that movie could possibly be. And then we've always liked the idea of like celebrities playing themselves. That's something, I guess, I mean, even since like we grew up watching like Seinfeld and the Larry Sanders Show and shows like that are kind of, you know, a little meta and kind of have, you know, they break the fourth wall a little bit. And then we thought like to combine these two ideas and make like our crazy end of the world movie mixed with our kind of weird meta movie could be a fun combination of movies. And then we thought, what if we had a 200-foot dick at the end of it?
I wish I could watch the movie. For all that. Your question, young lady.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say I haven't laughed at a movie in such a long time. It was amazing. So props to you for that. Thank you so much for it. And the Backstreet Boys.
Thank you.
So my question is, apart from Jay, who's someone you would actually want to go through an apocalypse with? It's like, apart from him.
Yeah.
So it's cheating, you already went through with him.
Yeah.
So if there's anyone else in the world, excluding your parents too, who would you want to go through that with?
Excluding my parents.
Yeah.
That's a good question. My wife, maybe? It's a good, I can't say that either, okay. Oh, you, I want you. Yeah. There you go. Thank you.
You're supposed to say like Les Stroud, the survivor.
Exactly, yeah, less Stroud, yeah.
That's the guy.
I'll bring in sync myself. Bring Backstreet Boys, I'll bring in sync.
Nice.
That sounds like the greatest time ever.
I know. I was always a Backstreet Boys guy, though.
Seth, Evan, I mean, that was probably one of the best movies I've seen this year so far. Huge, kudos to you guys. The question I have for you is, what was the hardest scene to shoot? I mean, in terms of, so many hilarity, pants-shittingly awesome scenes that I can imagine was impossible to go through it. Which one's the hardest and how hard was it to do the Backstreet Boys?
I wish I could say it was really hard to get the Backstreet Boys. It wasn't that hard. They were really psyched. It was actually, I mean, I'll be honest, the ending when we're in heaven was not originally the end of the movie. It originally just ended with us disappearing into the sky. And we originally in the script had us going to heaven and doing all that kind of stuff. Not specifically with the Backstreet Boys, but when we filmed the movie, we're like, oh, maybe less is more. And then we started showing the movie, and like unanimously, everyone was like, you need to show heaven, you need to show heaven. And by then, the trailer for the movie was already out. Like, there was a teaser, we released a scene for it, like in December. So the Backstreet Boys had actually like heard of the movie and seen the trailer for it. And so when we called, coincidentally, they were already like, it was already a movie that they were excited for. So when we asked them to come and do it, they were psyched to do it, and I couldn't believe it. Like, we were all losing our minds. Even Jay, who's like so jaded, like never likes any ideas. It was like, really, that's what we're doing? Like, when I told him we got the Backstreet Boys, he was like, oh my God. And then his friend, he said, all of them? That was the first question. Yeah, all of them, and it was, the scene we probably laughed the most while making was...
The jerk-off.
The jerk-off conversation was tough.
Yeah, if you rewatch it, Seth is going like this
I'm
the
like
whole
fully
time.
laughing.
He's
at
like
several
fully
of the
failed to maintain character, so he has to churn away.
And oddly enough, the scene where Franco puts the gun to Danny's head and he puts it in his mouth and is like, "That's what I thought, nerd." That, for some reason, we had to do that like 25 times. That really got us. And I am fully laughing, and we kind of like color timed it, so I'm like, you know, I'm too dark to see. We like added a shadow over me.
And it's the only scene where the actors were like, "We can't do this. Like, we just have to move on." And as directors, we were like, "It doesn't matter how long this takes. It has to happen."
Great movie, knocked up, might be the best movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well,
Side
thanks.
note. But I was actually wondering, how much persuading did it take for the studio to actually make this movie? Were they like, "All right, go for it," or were
No.
they like?
We do this thing where every time we write a script, we think we've like fucking reinvented the wheel, and like we're like, "This is gonna sell, like this is it." People are just sitting in their offices praying something like this is going to come in. Let the bidding war begin. And then we always go out and try to sell it, and no one wants to buy it. And everybody's like, "This is fucking crazy." Like, it took us years to get Superbad and Pineapple Express made, and every time, and with both those scripts, as soon as we finished, we're like, "This is it," and then no one wanted it. And something very similar happened with this. We even got all the actors attached. So we're like, not only do we have a script that we think is funny, we have like 6 movie stars attached to it, and still, like, we had a really hard time getting it made because of the idea that we were all playing ourselves. Like, people were really terrified of that. I think just because it had never been done before, movie studios like hate to be the first one to do something. And often, like, what makes a movie exciting to us is the thing that makes the movie petrifying to them. And it's happened enough times now, though, that we are confident in the fact that whatever scares them, they will ultimately love and embrace in the end. Like with Pineapples, they're like, "Do they have to be smoking? Does it have to be all about weed?" And with Superbad, it was like, "Do they have to be swearing and talking about sex all the time?" And then in the end, that's like what people like about those movies. So, yeah, they were very skeptical as to whether or not us playing ourselves was a good idea. And ultimately, we just lied to them and told them we would shoot a version where we could cut around it. And then we just didn't.